Good morning, everyone. May 26, 2020, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Project 2020 show. Before we begin, thank you to everyone who has recently subscribed to the channel. We crushed our goal again. I'm now over 430 subscribers, and I would love to be over 500 by the time we record episode 7 tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that button. Now, let's get back to Project 2020. Hey, I hope you had a great Monday and you're able to pick up your pre-orders for the 2 cards that were released yesterday. I know that I still need to purchase mine for my pre-order customers, and then the extras I'm going to buy. But I think it's very, very clear. What we're seeing right now is unprecedented. The numbers are off the charts, and this is a whole new ball game in Project 2020. Any kind of preconceived notions you might have had of this product or how to flip this product, I think, are completely out the window. The simple fact that we now have a card that was printed over 33,000 times reach $75, $90 literally the day after the pre-order window closes is just unbelievable. And it's so exciting to be part of this because what we're seeing is just unprecedented. I mean, any preconceived notion that you had of this project or how to flip it, I think it's out the window now. I mean, my original strategy and how I spoke about it on a couple of episodes ago in basically my furloughed series is taking 10 extras, taking 5 and flipping those 5 to pay for the 10, and then holding on 3 and 2 in different time windows because the cards were going up slow and it was sort of a slow burn, but you could flip 5 pretty easily to cover your buy-in. I mean, now I'm almost thinking as I get my 10 extras or more of a players, for example, like I loaded up on the Taylor Thomas because I predicted that would be a shorter print than it was. And so now I'm thinking about, do I just wait and sell 1 to pay for the 10 and then go from there? Like I ended up selling 5 Thomases or Taylors for Frank Thomas, and those paid for the 25. Yes, I could have waited a little bit longer and maybe had 3 pay for it or 2 pay for it, but I just think it's fantastic that I was able to take 5 to pay for the 25. But from an overall flip perspective, we have to rethink everything. I mean, the new baseline for these cards maybe is 25, 30,000, and we're only going to go up from there. So, I mean, if the new baseline, 25, 30,000, where does that put the Griffey? Where does that put the Nolan Ryan? I mean, now we have these 2 fantastic cards today. I mean, classic designs with the Sandy Koufax and the Ted Williams. I mean, 2 cards from a design perspective, to me, that speak to an older collector, someone who maybe saw these players play. These cards are just beautiful. But where does that new bar fall? 25, 30, 35,000? I did last night around 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time take a look at the pre-order data for Ken Griffey and Nolan Ryan, and those numbers are very, very surprising. Let's take a look at them right now. Also, if you're thinking or asking where do all these graphics come from or the numbers, please check out the website, crtsportscards.com. Go to my Project 2020 page, and it has everything there for you. And you can quickly reference any number that I talk about here on the show. Before we speak about the Griffey and the Ryan numbers, let's take a look, and for some context, the 24-hour pre-orders for the top 6 cards right now. It gives us an idea of what kind of velocity there is on the secondary market, and how we can properly project the cards and what their print run's going to be. And so you got Mike Trout leading the way. He had 624 pre-orders in the first day. Also, Mike Trout, number 6 card, the Fucci card, was down to 420. You know, there's some oddities here. You know, the Doc Gooden Ben Baller 160. To me, when you think of the Ben Baller, the group, his followers, the way he pushes stuff, they're always going to go to Topps.com. There's going to be an odd disparity of pre-orders to print run. And that's how I missed the Doc Gooden so much, because the pre-order numbers were so low on that card through eBay. But even the Rochester from this weekend only had 404 pre-orders within 24 hours. Now, look at the Nolan Ryan and the Ken Griffey. Nolan Ryan, yesterday alone, at 11 o'clock Pacific time, 475 pre-orders. I mean, second best to the Ben Baller Mike Trout. And look at Griffey, 1,658 in one single day. There are cards printed in the set that don't have 1,600 cards produced. So this is incredible. I mean, it speaks to the fact that could Nolan Ryan put up 25, 30,000 cards. I mean, this could be the new baseline. I mean, Griffey, 50,000. I thought that's an insane number. And when I'm thinking about my projections and looking at these numbers, when I try to forecast or look at what's going to possibly happen, and forecasting an outlier, I think, is irresponsible. But I mean, look at these numbers: 1,600 pre-orders in the first day. I mean, my pre-orders sold out within 12 minutes when I put them up before Topps announced the card. So that's where we are: 1,658 and 475 after one single day. These could be number 1 and number 3 at the end of the day when it comes to tomorrow morning. Now, though, let's look at card 89 and 90. Let's look at some classic designs for today's releases. So there it is, card 89, Sandy Koufax, done by Naturel. Probably my second favorite artist due to the fact of the triangles. As you can see my Gwen back here in the background. I just absolutely love Naturel and his design. But let's look at the cards he has produced before this. So again here, Naturel, this is his 5th card. We're going to see a lot of people develop or produce their 5th card this week, unless you're Don C. We need some Don C cards. But Naturel's progression, very simple. From Jackie Robinson to Roberto Clemente, Tony Gwynn, and then Mark McGwire at 60, which blew up, and now we're at 89 with Sandy Koufax. But when it comes to the print runs for Naturel, he's had nothing over 2,700, which now feels like a penny in these print runs. So this card obviously is going to completely blow up the averages, and he's going to be a top performer more than likely with this card. But look, I mean, his best card is 42, and this is why he's one of the lowest printed athletes. But let's now take a look at how Koufax got here with his first cards. So Sandy Koufax actually led us off day number 1 of Project 2020. He was card number 2, Jacob Rochester. So there's really no baseline average performance here on the Rochester. But his card 36 was Oldmanalan, card 49 was Thiel, and then card 76 was Fucci. This, of course, is his 5th card. But when you look at the averages here on his card number 36, Oldmanalan, 2488. The current average at that time before that card released was 2,022. So he was 23% over the average. His Thiel, though, was 2149 versus a current average of 2426. So he underproduced by about 12% there. And then his Koufax Fucci came in at 6607, and that was at 7688 as an average, so negative 14%. So where does that leave us with Koufax? And as a print run perspective, who knows right now? I mean, 25,000 is a baseline. I think it's out the window right now as far as how to properly project these cards. I will have a better understanding tomorrow. I'm curious how he's going to perform versus Nolan Ryan, and so we'll check back in tomorrow morning with pre-order data. But from a print run perspective, who knows right now? Now let's look at Teddy Ballgame. Oldmanalan's first card was Tony Gwynn at 16. His second one was Sandy Koufax, again in my background today. The third one was Mariano Rivera at 56. And he's also now had 2 cards post the Jameson Ermsey line. So the Clemente at 78, and now, of course, we have the Williams at 90. But let's take a look at the print runs on these 4 cards. So on the Gwynn, very minimal, 1,300, one of the lowest printed cards out there. Koufax, 2488. Rivera, 1,100, nearly the bottom of the list right now, and I think that'll never be touched. That'll just continue to be at the bottom going forward. And then Clemente, 8610, card 78. This is when sort of the first, we could see the first movement from everyone emerging into this environment happen with that card, because there's no reason that he should have had 8600 printed after putting up nothing more than 2500. But half of this battle is about the player. Let's look at how Ted Williams has done up to this point. Ted's first card was number 9, JK5, who I think is the design is fantastic when you realize that he's a tattoo artist. The Fucci was his second one at number 34. Ermsey was 58, and then the F. Ted Williams was 74. Now on the averages, when it came to his first card, the JK5, 1385, the average print run before those cards, so just a couple cards, was 1651, so he missed the average by 16%. The Ted Williams Fucci, 1131, the average then was over 2,000, 44% miss to the average. The Ermsey now, which is where we sort of saw some grumblings of Ermsey show up, 48.59. The average then was 3,014, so 61%. And of course, that is one of the 2 cards of the Jamison Ermsey line. This is when the set really started to take off. And then, of course, when you look at the F dot number 74, which was post the Jamison Ermsey line, you're looking at 88.97 versus an average of 74.73. So 19% over the average. So again, where does that leave us for an average projection for this card? Who knows? This is going to be fantastic to see and see how the pre-order data goes for this card. Again, with the Ryan, Koufax, these two can be very similar. I don't know. We're going to find out. This is what makes this project so darn exciting. So thank you so much for watching episode number 6 of the Project 2020 show. Looking forward to tomorrow and what gets released on Wednesday. See you guys tomorrow.